I'm here at Walker Towing in Alamogordo to see the truck. Take everything out of it. Look what an elk does to a Dodge Ram 1500 SLT 4x4 truck. Look what this elk did. Yeah, things are just broken out. Oh my gosh. My baby truck. You know, when it hit me, I couldn't see out because the elk was on top of the truck. Yeah, that's where it would have come completely through the windshield, they said, if it weren't for the fact that I have such a big truck. I mean, this is a 1994. I have been looking at trucks since then. I don't really like what I see. I just have begun looking. I'll find something. The Lord will lead me to something. Here's inside with the engine. Amazingly enough, some of the engine is fine. Supposedly, you could take this to the shop and get it all fixed up. These are, of course, all-terrain tires. They're excellent. You know, I bought those in 2015. It's 2019. Look how they hardly show any wear. I learned about them from Consumer Reports, and I was thinking I would have these tires taken off and swap them with my next truck, but in looking at trucks yesterday, not everything is an R16, so the tires will just have to go. And no wonder I couldn't open up my my driver's side door. See, it messed all this up. I couldn't get out. I honestly thought the truck was going to be on fire. There's where the airbag came out. I love these Dodges. They're really big. You know what I'm doing? I'm holding on to what that girl said to me. She was part of the family that loaded up the elk to feed themselves. She said she firmly believes that God has a reason for things happening. See, and that interests me because, you see, I always think that's BS. I don't think God has a reason. I always want to say, well, what reason is that, huh? You know, and the fact that she said that to me during this, but I looked at her and I said, you think so? And she said, oh, yes. God has a reason for these things happening. And I've been thinking about that and holding on to it. My parking brake wasn't working anymore really well. Really wasn't working. And there was a squeaky, squeaky, squeaky sound under the hood that they'd gotten rid of before, but you know, it seemed like it was happening again. I was worried, what if that belt, you know, what if a wheel that turns the belt suddenly snapped and while I'm going downhill, you know, coming down, what if that happened? You know, there were little things that were going wrong with the truck. I noticed I was having to start to put a quart of oil in it every, month, and that's new. They had just started to do that. So, I was already starting to think, I think I'll get a Toyota RAV4 or something, but this is what an elk does, and that elk just came out of nowhere. And I'm a careful driver. I've never had a wreck in this truck. The wreck I had was when an 18-wheeler hit me. Let's see, that was in my Toyota diesel pickup. My little 1981 Toyota diesel pickup. I'm driving because Roy, my husband, had a seizure disorder as a result of his brain injury. And so, I'm driving, and we lived in Denver, and I'm driving from Denver to El Paso. We have the cats with us, and black ice, an 18-wheeler hit the back of that truck. When it did that, we just went spinning all over the highway. There were a lot of cars. It looked like we were going to get hit. We didn't. We went off into the field. The truck stopped. And then once I got my nerves regained, we restarted it and continued on. The 18-wheeler saw us pull in, and he came running out. And he said, I was watching you in my rearview mirror. I thought you were going to get hit. I thought you were goners. And, we weren't even scratched. And the cats were okay. I think that was 1999. Yeah, 20 years later. This time it's in New Mexico and an elk. I wore with my church clothes an antique locket of my grandmother's, but at some point walking outside the crashed truck that evening, I discovered the locket was no longer attached to its necklace around my neck, and I couldn't find it anywhere at the scene. For such a cherished possession to be destroyed and lost in this crash really disappointed me. But when I saw the locket tucked in the seat, when I went back, as you see here, I was thrilled. Somehow the force of the crash had detached it from the necklace without harming either one. And I had to laugh when I saw this book pamphlet of an El Paso NaNoWriMo author lying just where you see it in the storage space behind the seats. Perhaps it was merely lucky I wasn't hurt, though I prefer to thank Providence for that blessing that yet again, in a bad crash, I walked away unharmed. Bye-bye.